Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm your host Siren Frost, and today welcome back to Deck Profile Weekly Video. This week we got two new decks, two new ride lines to review, and honestly, one of them I find very fascinating. It reminds me of like the Nubatama clan. If the one you were talking about, sorry, I should have introduced this sooner. This is my Shojodoji. Yeah, I was trying to say that 3,000 times. Fuck. This deck is what people call, or at least the ride line is, the Demon of Nails, pretty much. Because, well, it's a Demon of Nails, pretty much. Even though he has a sword, he uses his nails to, I don't know, cast spells or something like that, or scratch someone in the face, I don't know. But basically, this deck kind of reminds me of the Narukami Murakuma moment where they bound. So I did try it before a couple times. I kind of stopped trying it a little bit and trying to find the right recipe to just show the deck. And, you know, I got inspired by a lot of people who, you know, also told me to help me figure out what units are best for the deck and what's best, what's not best, you know, mix and match, I guess. So I guess the overall playstyle for Shojodoji is basically put the cards in the bind zone and superior call units from the bind zone, depending on certain effects. And then it all has stealth effects, like it's kind of like the distant cousin to Amaviera's glitter stealth mode kind of thing, seeing as that she ran stealth units as well. But that's a whole different deck for another time. This one's just all stealth dragons. So it kind of reminds me of Shiranwee's theme, which, by the way, you guys, we are going to get Shiranwee for the next Stride deck besides Luard. So, the Onimura brothers are actually going to be featuring in the Stride deck list. So, without any further ado, let's just hop right into the video. So, the whole thing is pretty much Shojodoji's evolution line. So, let's see, how do we start this? So, for the rookie level, we got grade 0. It's called Can't Quit Sake Stealth Dragon Shojodoji. So apparently, this stealth rogue likes his sake. Because maybe he's just that boozy. Maybe he's just that rich. I don't know. Maybe he's just a demon who doesn't give a fuck. I don't know. But this guy likes his nails. You could even tell in the artwork that he likes his nails. And they're freshly painted too with the color blood. And yes, you can actually use blood in paint and other things, so don't quote me on that. Grade 1, we have Sakura Romance Stealth Rogue Shojodoji. Now for him, his skill is, when this unit is placed on Vanguard Circle, look at the top 5 cards of your deck. Choose up to 2 normal units with stealth in their names. From among them, reveal them, put one of the revealed cards into your soul, bind the remaining revealed card, and shuffle your deck. Now, it's a rearguard skill, which we only ran one copy of this guy. So it's a bind zone skill. If you have a grade 1 or greater Vanguard with stealth in its card name, Soul Blast 1 and call this to rearguard. So if you could always welcome to play more copies of this card if you really wanted to, if you so choose to. But most people just want to brand only one copy of him. Well, I used to play multiple copies because at the time I didn't get all the cards that are needed. So that's why. Now, for grade 2, we're using World-Shaping Stealth Rogue Shojodoji. When this unit is placed on the Vanguard Circle, look at the top 5 cards of your deck. Choose up to 2 normal units with stealth in its card name. From among them, reveal them, put one of them into the soul, call the remaining revealed card to rear guard, and shuffle your deck. And that's also the same bind effect. If you have a grade 2 or greater Vanguard with stealth in its card name, Soul Blast 1, and call this to rear guard. So it's the grade 1 and 2s that pretty much call themselves to rearguard if they really want to. But most of the time, it's just putting cards into the soul, superior calling them, binding the rest. That's what stealth are pretty much for, I guess. And finally, we have the main boss of the deck. We have Peak Personage Stealth Rogue Shojodoji. And his skill is bind 2 cards with stealth in their card names from Soul. Choose 2 of your opponent's rear guards, Bind all the cards on the chosen rear guard, and your opponent puts those cards into their hand at the end of the turn. When this unit attacks the Vanguard, Counterblast 1, and put 2 rear guards into Soul. Choose a card with Stealth in its card name from your bind zone, called to rear guard. And if your opponent's Vanguard is greater or greater, that called unit gets 10,000 power in their turn. So, it has 3 things. Superior Calling, Binding, and also a little bit of Soul Charging too. So, it has a lot of things to do with the Soul, the Bind Zone, and oy vey, just a lot. And so far, the Archites and the Shojodojis hasn't been claimed by any anime characters quite yet, so right now they're just their own kind of people and doing their own thing. And also maybe secret spies for Amaviera and Ava, personally. So yeah, and yes, we are using the red sleeves from like the Toya sleeves because, well, it would make sense, you know, like, it makes sense. Now, as always, you guys, my trigger lineup will always be the same. I know a lot of people were saying that I could change it for a lot better, but this actually works for me for a lot of reasons because this is my OCD kind of thing, and I like it. So, what we did change differently since the Maelstrom deck is basically, I took out the 10k heal triggers, the ones that granted like 15k boost or 10k boost when your opponent's Vanguard is greater than your own Vanguard. So that's why. Instead, we're going with a theme here of 15k shields. So we got 3 copies of Stealth Dragon, Shikintan from the Festival Collection 2023, which I still am determined to get more of those cards because, hello, there's more cards in there I still kind of fucking need. And then we got the 1 copy of Stealth Fiend Amaviera, just because this is the only effect heal trigger that I would like to using, because there's a chance that your opponent's Vanguard will attack twice, so an extra 15k shield will not be a problem at all. So that's the only 10k I recommend you guys just trying. I don't know where that went. Next, I'm also using 2 draw triggers, so we're using Staticrack Dragon for the 10k shield, and it gets like 5,000 power when your opponent's Vanguard is greater, or whatnot, you know what I mean. 7 criticals, so we're using 3 copies of Stealth Dragon, Madowazu. It does go with a nice theme here for the Stealth series. And then we also have 4 copies of the Effect Critical Trigger, which is the Burning Flare Dragon for that. Two fronts we have is Blaze Maiden Parama for the 20k shield, because I hate to say this, you guys, but front triggers are definitely a come in handy kind of thing, especially in decks like this. That's just my thing. And also we have the 1 over trigger, which is Dragveda, just for the deck. You can always use the new ones, create elemental ones. I know my Bob Saga deck has the water one in the deck. Believe it or not, that card actually works wonders with my deck. I don't know. Teach their own, I suppose. So, yeah. That is the trigger lineup for this deck. I don't want to ruin the cards, so let's be very careful here. Also, if it's not too much obvious, I'm using the blood red or the crimson red sleeves for the deck. I figure it'd be an excellent choice because it's a Dragon Empire deck. Why not? Now, as far as grade 1s are concerned, we're not using much grade 2s in this deck, so there's a lot of room for grade 1s. So we are using 4 copies of Stealth Fiend Koumaaun. I think basically what this little guy does is when this card is placed on rear guard from hand, Counterblast 1, choose a card from your opponent's bind zone. You may put it on the bottom of their deck. If you did not put a card, choose up to 1 unit with Stealth in its card name, and grade less than or equal to your Vanguard from your bind zone and call it to rear guard. So that's what we have for these little guys here. Now, you don't always have to use all 4 at once. That sounds kind of stupid right there. If you have enough Counterblasts to spare, you can use 1 at a time and see what happens. And then we also have 4 copies of Stealth Fiend Forktail. And we already know what Forktail kind of does because of Amaviera when we used her before. Basically, she helps you get look at the top 7 cards of your deck and choose up to 1 card with stealth or glitter in its text or name and put it into your soul and shuffle the rest in the deck. This will also help you get the chance of getting triggers as well. So that's not a bad idea. Next, we also have 4 copies of Staticrack Dragon. And the reason why I chose this guy personally is because when your other unit is placed on rearguard in the same column as this unit during your turn, that placed unit gets 5,000 power and then turn. So it's just an extra power boost to add more pressure to the deck, personally. Finally, we have 3 complete guards. The complete guard we're choosing is Sparkle Rejector Dragon. I just figured that I like this one better than the Twin Buckler, but I could be very wrong. Everybody is entitled to their own opinion. And then we also have 1 Elementaria for the last complete guard. So yeah, that's the grade 1 lineup I have right now. And next, the only grade 4s in the deck we're playing so far is 4 copies of Stealth Dragon Jakumetsu arcs. So, for this guy right here. And his ability is, when this unit is placed on rearguard from bind zone, this unit gets 5k power in a turn. Okay, granted. When this unit attacks, Soul Blast 1, choose a card from your opponent's bind zone and put it in the bottom of your deck. So basically, this is a card that will prevent your opponent from actually getting cards back in their hand, especially ones that come in quite handy. So that's kind of ruined. That kind of disrupts their little strategy as well. The next thing we do is that it wouldn't be a Shojodoji deck without the Persona Ride abilities, so we're playing 3 more copies of the Grade 3 Shojodoji, playing 4 copies of Stealth Dragon Umperkitten. I don't know how you say that name, but I'm very sorry. What his skill is, when his unit is placed on rearguard by a card's ability, if you're a Vanguard with Amaviera or Shojodoji in its card name, so you can go either 1, Soul Blast 1, and draw a card. If 2 or more of your cards were put in the or were put from rearguard into your soul this turn, this unit gets 10,000 power. And that's an Abyss Dragon. So those are the units. Now we're also for 3 normal. Now for the order cards we have is Return to the other shore. I think this card is exclusively to Shojodoji. I want to play 4 of them, but I figured, why not try some other units and see what happens. Now, it plays this if you have a Vanguard with Shojodoji in its card name. You and your opponent both choose one of their rearguards, bind all the other cards on the chosen rearguard, and at the end of the turn, put each of their cards bound by this effect into their hands. If both you and your opponent's cards were bound by this effect, put this card into your soul. So, it does all that, plus then some. So, can't really say too much about it. But that is it for the deck profile video for Shojodoji. That name is still kind of funny to me in my eyes. But hey, it's considered to be an evolution line at this point, because if you look at the Glitter Force, actually has their own evolution line, which is Amaviera, Ava, Thangria, Rorora, and Kias. You get the idea. So it's kind of like a mirror version of these guys. So anyways, you guys, that is it for the video for Shojodoji. If you guys like the content I do create, be sure to subscribe, thumbs up for the video, comment down below. And as always, you guys, I've been your host, Siren Frost, signing out.